The Chili Bowl pre-race show continues on here on Thursday night of the 40th Chili Bowl Midget Nationals presented by NOS Energy Drink. And as we have done every single day this week, we will now add a fourth member to the pre-race show. It is the official Chili's athlete, Carson Hocevar. That's a good photo right there. Should have brought that hat today, Carson, but thank you for joining us here on the pre-race show. As I mentioned, you are the official Chili's athlete. How awesome is it to see these guys getting involved and going in the deep end in dirt racing? We've seen the thing with Gio at High Limit. Now they're doing the pre-race show at the Chili Bowl. This is a really cool partnership.
Yeah, it's really cool for me because I love dirt racing. Jeff Dickerson, our owner, loves dirt racing. So to be able to take a NASCAR sponsor, right, that got attached to Spire Motorsports, and Spire wanted to grow the dirt, presence with dirt late model that I get to run some, and then Gio with a sprint car full time. It's super cool. And then Tim, who kind of runs the whole campaign for Chili's with the racing deal, he's here, and he grew up an hour from here, so obviously the Chili Bowl is almost his home event here. So it's all super cool that they are obviously jumping into it and love it, and they are part of it. But really, they're all just becoming racers. I'm noticing every time I talk to them, you go to these corporate events, they don't ask what's it like going 200 mile an hour. Now they're getting technical, and now they're talking about dirt racing even.
So I know you're not racing this week, but I believe you ran here 2 times. I think both with Kyle Bielman Motorsports, right? Take me through that experience. What was it like? Do you miss it?
Yeah, I've missed it ever since I've gotten out of it. And the more I've watched it, the more I'm like, I had no idea what I was doing. And then I got to run the dirt late model a bunch, and I got to, didn't really understand. It was all just, thrown in, I got to run the Chili Bowl, and a sponsor wanted me to do it, or my team owner wanted me to do it a month in advance. I got in touch with Kyle. I showed up, but the most nervous I've ever been, everybody talks about the ramp going down. The most nervous I was sitting there in front of the push truck because you're not doing anything. At least when you're getting pushed down the ramp, you're driving and you can start, thinking about it. But when I was sitting there dead still and you hear the sound, but everything gets quiet, in the car, and you're just sitting there waiting to get pushed off, that's when I was the most nervous, just because you're sitting there overthinking, shoot, okay, do we have everything right? Do I know the track? And then you start really second guessing everything. But I just picture this track as the perfect midget track, and I'm obsessed with watching in-car cameras of this just because of how technical it is, how different in-car cameras, how different styles are, and everything that, I miss it a lot, to answer your question.
Well, the good news is you can always come back and race again in the future. Hopefully something like that gets put together. Hey, Chase Rodman just introduced you as an official Chili's athlete. That piques my interest, obviously. As food,
I made that up.
Food's a big part of my life. Well, I just want to know, obviously you're partnered with Chili's, a great brand. They're partnering with us. We're grateful for the opportunity to work with such a well-known brand. What's it like? Are you shutting down Chili's every weekend on the road with NASCAR? What's the go-to on the menu? What do I need to try? Give me the inside line on that Chili's menu.
I just go to get the triple dipper. It's super easy. The biggest thing is I get a gallon of strawberry lemonade. I love strawberry lemonade. I'm not a soda guy, but I love lemonade. So that was the first thing. And they actually put a strawberry lemonade machine in the shop.
Oh.
So that's basically unlimited, and they're always refilling it and stuff just to help me out. But it's super fun just because, there's so many sponsors in NASCAR, especially that, none of my friends can, afford or do.
Right.
You can't really, go get a life insurance thing or, build a submarine or who knows. There's so many sponsors that are, a lot of corporate, B2B or whatever, right? And there's Chili's as a consumer. We could all go out to Chili's. I have a gold card. I can run the bill pretty good with a lot of my buddies and enjoy it. But so many of my friends, they now just text me, and there's so often that on Twitter people are texting me pictures that they're at Chili's or riding the Dente. That's been the most popular, is riding the Dente. I didn't know how, I thought it was cheesy at first. I was like, yeah, this is funny. I enjoy it. It's the Presidente Margarita. It's cool. It's got to get a ring to it. But, even when I wasn't in the Chili's gear, people are telling me to ride the Dente, and it's been a lot of fun to see how excited people are. And I think consumer brands are, what built NASCAR up and had people be iconic to that car. And I think it's cool, too, with it being dirt. There's not a lot of corporate, sponsors here. And here there's a lot of, about 6 or 7. Like, I did it. Dang it! I didn't mean to actually do that. Clint Boyle's probably laughing.
That's
right
like the
now.
third time this has happened.
I know, but there's so many different sponsors that are just piecing things together, buddies and everything. But I think Chili's is really getting a lot of love right now, just because it's a corporate sponsor getting into the dirt world, and they're I think they're a really, really big fish in this pond, right?
They get a lot of love from us. We travel with High Limit 60, 70 nights here, and we're always pulling over and hitting Chili's. Chase, I know you love to ride the Dente every chance you get.
Oh, 3 times at least a day.
Wow,
when we're there.
That's a lot.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah, exactly.
The big Dente, yeah. Carson, obviously you are very busy with your day job, but you do find yourself behind the wheel of a dirt late model every now and again. My question, you say you love dirt racing. How much are you paying attention to that throughout the year on Flow Racing? Are you watching High Limit every time you can? Are you watching the Lucas late model? Are you watching USAC midgets? How much are you paying attention to the dirt racing throughout the year?
I mean, it lives on my TV, honestly. Like, I literally I think my owner has gotten tired of me, and especially Tim Clausen, because I'll be texting them at like 3 a.m. of just like, dude, watch this in-car, like, dude, like how he passes, like I'll give him a specific spot and track, and it'll be like a night before a cup race even, and I'm just like, dude, you guys see this move in the midget race or the sprint car race or whatever. I think their phone has been worn out, and I think they're either going to put me in a midget because they're tired of hearing me, or they're never going to let me come back, or they're going to get rid of my Flow subscription because I'm just burning their phones by texting them nonstop. But it's been a lot of fun to just literally live on Flow and live on all the in-cars. Like, the second in-car camera's posted. I'm probably watched it tonight. So that's the most fun I have, is just watching it. And then obviously driving a little bit of midget, I can like somewhat vicariously race and live through them of that in-car camera, and that's how I get my niche, even though I'm not racing.
You mentioned a gold card. I believe you own a Chili's, right?
No, so so the story with that was the local radio station or whatever said that the Chili's was closing, and it happened to be my hometown. And like how fake clickbait stuff gets, and it had a ton of attention. So like the local Chili's was asking corporate for some help, and I was like, all right, a social video of me just saying it's open is not going to work. I was like, can I just say I bought it? And there's I think my boss Jeff had no idea about it. We forgot to tell him, and he just sends me, "Congrats?" ? And then my mom's like, "Did you actually buy the Chili's?" I was like, no, it was kind of a joke, but I was like, all right, I'm just gonna own it now. I'm just gonna run with it. But but it's cool that a brand's completely cool with that, and just getting clicks and getting attention of it. I'd like to buy it eventually, but I gotta win some races first.
I mean, I think if you buy it, you should have to go in and work, and you should have to wear that jacket when you go into work.
I agree.
Hey, we had Frank Kelleher from Daytona International Speedway in here yesterday, and we ran out of time with him, but I wanted to ask him this question, and I think you can probably provide a really good answer as well. You're not a promoter in the sense that he is at Daytona with so many big events, but you're a racer through and through. You compete at all those big events that he's a part of and we're a part of here. When you come to an event like the Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS, or you go to the Gateway Dirt Nationals, you get to see a very different kind of event than the type you're used to competing in on Sundays with the NASCAR Cup Series. Is there a part of the infrastructure or the organization that stands out to you that I'm not trying to say NASCAR could benefit or whatever from, but you just enjoy and you go, man, that'd be great to see expand into other kinds of motorsport?
I think the biggest thing that I've wanted is just, I don't know how you do it on the NASCAR level, but just walking after the A-Main and seeing fans or seeing people that bought pit passes be able to go walk the track, or just at least get close to the track. But being able to walk the track at any local short track, or especially here, or big nights, just walking the track to those folks, they just feel way more a part of it than not. And I wish there's somehow, some way we could implement that on the NASCAR side. Because I think that would be such a positive reaction to that. But I know as I was a kid, being able to go to the pits after a local race, no matter where it was, or go on the track, was the highlight of the night for me after a race. So I would imagine there's kids out there, even just adults that are race fans and never really get to achieve that at a big night like this, and they get to go see the curb, and they get to go see everything, and they get to see the bumps and feel it.
Yeah.
That's such different feeling than just getting told about it 100 times.
And just see it.
Just see it and feel
20,
it and
30 yards away.
experiment, and just experience it.
I think that's a great answer.
Carson, before we let you go, one final thing. Obviously, Spire Motorsports has a sprint car team now. Does that mean that maybe someday we could see you in a wing sprint car, or at least testing one?
I mean, I would love to do it. I know they're dangerous. My ask would be if I promise not to ask to drive the sprint car, can I race the Chili Bowl? I'd be willing to trade that.
That's a good trade-off.
I feel like this would be a lot safer. I feel like both would be a lot easier to ask if I was about a foot shorter, so I'm kicking myself with that. But no, they get to let me do so many cool things, and I get to run a lot more dirt late model stuff and go racing. And so I'm not gonna get greedy, but I would love if it came up. I would not say no, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to ask because they do a lot for me, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, Carson, thanks for joining the pre-race show. Have fun tonight with whoever you're hanging out with, and enjoy the rest of the week.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, that is Carson Hocevar. We're going to go to a break here on Flow Racing, but when we come back, Flow Racing CEO, co-founder, and our fearless leader, Mark Floriani, will join the Chili's pre-race show.